You're listening to the Urban Sports Scene. I'm Wole and I'm joined by my guy, my man, Ray Jeezy. What's going on, Ray?
Trying to stay cool like everybody else, bro. We need to get a spring water endorsement
Ray,
for
it's
real.
crazy.
You feel me?
I feel you. It's crazy when I stepped outside and I felt the heat. The first thing that came to my mind was I wish my knee was like 110%. This is the time me and Ray go out and play tennis. You know what I'm saying? We do that
Oh,
suicide
I didn't even
mission.
think about
I
that.
thought about it, bro. That's the first thing that came to mind, bro. I was like, this is that tennis weather.
It is 99 degrees. This is what we would
Yeah,
do in the past. Yeah,
yeah.
your knee is out of commission. So I guess that's why my mindset hasn't been there. But it's cool because
No, it's
I
getting
still
better.
try to get out.
It's getting there. It's just that the lateral, like just stop and start and type thing. Basketball is a little bit easier for me compared to it's wild. It's easier compared to because I can control that. The people I check, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't gotta check them people who are like really twitchy. And tennis is constant movement. You know what I'm saying? You got to be on your toes.
What's
Folks don't
good,
know that.
Paul? Paul don't know about University of Maryland. College
No,
proper.
we used to
It's like
play
the
at
run
college.
and shoot, the run and shoot of
It
tennis. So
was.
it's like
It was.
100 courts out there joint.
And we had the lights though. We was living the dream. We could play forever, dude. We had the lights and
Yeah, it was some
everything.
scary moments though, and real talk, it
Real
was some
talk.
scary moments. It was some scary moments. It was some heat stroke type stuff that happened, but folks was dedicated to exercise and just
Oh,
keeping that weight off. Dope
yeah.
stuff.
It
Dope stuff.
was though. It was definitely scary moments, dog. I ain't gonna lie. I had my moments where Ray would drive off. I felt like I was bent over, like
Yeah, I would be nervous, bro. Like on some real. I remember having to take a shower and cool my body temperature down, bro, because it was that bad. It was so
yeah,
hot.
it
But
was.
I miss those days. But at the same time, getting older, got to be smarter for
Gotta be
real.
smarter. I know it's wild because I was watching my nephew flag football game over the weekend, and it was it was hot. It's hot as hell over the weekend. And just sitting there, bro, I was like about to pass out.
You
I was like, yo, I
had a
gotta
towel
leave.
on. You had a towel on.
No, no, no towel. I was just in that thing in the heat. I had to walk around. Like I was like, yeah, this is not it. This shot passed. Yeah, he said, Paul, I knew about
Oh,
it.
Paul, you know
I was
about
like,
that
yeah,
joint?
okay, my man, my man.
Paul, I'm just saying, I appreciate you. I really do. It's just we was on a different level. I'm talking about folks had to be at work at like 8 in the morning, and we still out
Right?
there like 3 a.m.
I know.
It was wild back. It was
we
wild
was
back
doing,
then.
we was wilding though. We was wilding. No lies told. We were definitely wilding back then. All right. But first let's knock out some particulars. Hey, you can check our website, which is theurbansportsing.com. You can also subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and other podcast platforms. Just search the Urban Sports Scene. Also, if you're new to our Urban Sports and YouTube channel, just hit that red subscribe button and also like this video. It does well for the YouTube algorithm. We're talking about this particular topic, which is the NBA and Kevin Durant. So just make sure anything that is about Kevin Durant or the NBA, it helps us in terms of the algorithm. So just make sure you hit that like button. Also subscribe as well. If you're also on YouTube, we are all monetizing on YouTube right now. So if you feel free to hit us with a super chat. And we'll appreciate it. If not, we still going to do our thing and showcase your comments anyway. But if you feel like it, feel free to hit us with a super chat. Also, don't forget to tweet us at Urban Sports. Hit us up on IG and TikTok at Urban Sports, and also like our Urban Sports Facebook page. Also, join our Urban Sports Facebook group. Search Urban Sports sports bloggers, sports podcasters, and sports debates. All right, let's get into our tradition. The pregame. Here's what we have on tap. We're going to talk about Kevin Durant getting traded to the Houston Rockets. All right, Ray. Let's get into it, man. So yesterday, like it's wild. The NBA Game 7 was yesterday, and they decided to drop this news during Game 7 of the NBA Finals. It's a whole different beast. I thought that's nasty work. But anyway, the Phoenix Suns traded Kevin Durant to the Houston Rockets for Jalen Green, Dillon Brooks, and the number 10th pick in this year's NBA draft, and 5 second-round picks. Ray, what were your thoughts when you heard about this deal?
Just want to say as a quick disclaimer, I'm a Kevin Durant fan
Yeah,
of his game. We know what he means to DMV, arguably as important as, let's say, Len Bias to this area. We know what
right.
he's accomplished, but I was not a fan of the trade. Well, like, and here's why. You just
Well,
talked about the NBA championship, the Oklahoma City Thunder. They built that roster the right way, young talent, drafting the right way. Year after year, they developed. They grew through challenges. They grew through experience. And I felt like Houston was on that same trajectory led
okay.
by up and coming star and Jalen Green. I think you continue to build the right way. I can't think of a situation in recent memory where a win now scenario has worked out for a franchise. I even think about the Miami Heat when they picked up the big three, LeBron, Bosh, Wade. They lost in the finals their first season.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a fan. I'm a fan of sort of that trust the process motto. So for that reason, I wasn't rooting for KD to go to Houston, even though Houston has a talented roster regardless. But I felt like they were building a great young nucleus. I think the experience of going up against the Golden State Warriors, who of course had that championship pedigree, was going to help them to grow, just like the past teams, the Magics, the Birds that led their teams through tough times, the Isaiah Thomases of the world, Michael Jordans. I'm just not a fan of win now, especially at this age for a guy like KD.
Alexander Wilson, you said, what happens to
Beal?
We'll talk about that. We'll definitely talk about
For
that.
Sure.
So I was a fan of the trade, and and I'm like you, I do like OKC's model, but I think the difference between OKC and I agree, Ray, you agree with me. OKC got some selfless dudes in terms of how they play basketball. If you watch Jalen Green, and if anybody knows, I like Jalen Green. Ray have certainly talked about, I like Jalen Green a lot, but his style of basketball is very selfish, which is different from anybody else. It's not like Cade Cunningham when you see in Detroit. It's a selfless type of ball. Jalen Green's a scorer, and you saw his play in the playoffs where he takes bad shots. He's a bad shot taker. So that's his personality. Sometimes that's who you are, and I feel like for a championship team, a team that is so close with all these young pieces that you're talking about, Ray, like you got the Thompson twin, you got Jabari Smith,
Sengun.
You got Sengun. You already got guys who are ready to win, who are super talented. It's different from OKC. Shea is a selfless superstar, like selfish scorer. You know what I mean? Like he's willing to defer. Jalen Green will take wild shots. You know what I mean? It's a different beast in terms of how they're constructed. Again, I think Jalen. I'm hoping that Jalen Green turns it around. I mean, not turns it around, but adds more to his game where he's not looked this way. You know what I'm saying? But I like Jalen Green. I think going to Phoenix could be a good thing for him. I don't know. That's a different beast too in its own right. Phoenix isn't a big disarray, but in terms of Houston, I like what it is because for Houston, you're getting Kevin Durant, and Kevin Durant is one of the most selfless all-time great scorers you're going to meet in basketball. Where I mean that he doesn't jack. He's not a dude who's going to jack the basketball. Like he's an efficient 30. He's an efficient 25. So Sengun's gonna get his shots. Jabari Smith is gonna get his shots. Thompson's gonna be able to still be a better basketball player. Van Fleet's still gonna get shots, and he's a scorer. He's a point guard with a scorer mentality. And then you got, I think it opens the floor. It opens the door open for Cam Whitmore to get more burn too and get more attempts to be a scorer. I feel like by subtraction, you even like some of the young players that you didn't really play and give that burn to, now they're going to be focused on a little bit more. Shoot, Shepard is a baller. Dude, they give him a guy from Kentucky, the rookie. Now he's going to get an opportunity to play more. I just feel like by subtraction, other guys are now getting afraid to kind of be productive for this team. And then adding Kevin Durant, a guy that now you got a closer. They didn't have a closer. They have a closer now. Like Kevin Durant's cool. We've seen it in Golden State. Shoot, we've seen the Phoenix. He was cool with Booker getting the shine. He will let other dudes eat, and now to a point where if Coach Coach Udoka has him Udoka, excuse me. Now if he says KD close, KD's cool with closing. It's not going to be a situation where he's going to be like an ego, like why ain't I closing? Because we've seen KD's personality. We saw it in Oklahoma. We've seen it in Golden State. We've seen it in Phoenix. He has no ego when it comes to like, hey, if you're going, you're going, because he's a hooper.
He said Hallie
X. Yeah, that's true. Hallie's X. That's true.
Is that who he is? It's not Nia Long? He messed with Halle Berry?
No, Nia Long. He messed up. He's right, Nia Long. Jesus Christ, he got messed up. Nia Long.
I was going to say he had both of them.
He thinking the short hair, man. He thinking short hair chicks. That's what he's doing. What's going on, Taj? What's going on?
I will say it will be interesting. You talk about a team that finished second, of course, in the Western Conference. The talent around KD now is different from the other types of supporting cast he's ever had in his career.
Yeah.
You mentioned selfless. You mentioned also, I don't know if you mentioned defense, but this team is good defensively, and I think that's going to benefit KD as well. I'm not saying it can't work. I just like when you're building a young nucleus, how you continue to grow it. And I think that they were going to come back better based on the fact that they just played a more experienced Golden State Warriors team this past season. But it's okay. It can work for KD. I thought KD was smart in the teams that he chose to sort of narrow his list down.
Yeah.
I thought that was smart. And Houston is a good destination because they have the team that could potentially go and win now. But you saw the team that won last night, and that's my question is, can this team is constructed now? Can they beat the OKC Thunder that just won the title?
I think they can. I feel like you got
in a
a closer.
7-game series.
You got a closer. They didn't, like, you saw what happened with them with the Warriors. They didn't have a guy at the end of the game who could help close the game. Mm-hmm. They were in those games. They couldn't close. Mm-hmm. And they benched Jalen Green for most of that. Like, that's the problem. That's the issue for real. Like, I'm gonna be real with you. I think I thought they gave up little to get KD, to be real with you. I thought that Cam Whitmore should have been in the deal, or Reed Shepard. Like, those dudes should have been in the deal. Like it shouldn't have just been Jalen Green and Dillon Brooks. You know what I'm saying? Like, Dillon Brooks brought grit, don't get me wrong, but it shouldn't have been them. And like, it should have been more like some of those players, those young players, because what it does for Houston is going to be like, they're going to be able to compete with you, like OKC. They're going to be able to, because like you said, they got a bunch of young dudes who can go. Sengun is like that. Like, they got a bunch of young dudes who can go. Yeah. Now you add in one of the best scorers in our generation of watching basketball to that, and could still average 26 to 30 points a game if he needed to. He just chooses not to. You still got that. You still got that capability in Kevin Durant. So you add that with this young crew, this young crop. And again, it's not a player. He's not a player that says, I need to have 40 shots or 30 shots. He's a player. We seen it, Ray. 15 to 20. He good. He good. Yeah. And he can still make that into 26. 26. You know what I'm saying? So it just fits. It fits what this team is doing. I think now they got a guy who can close at the end of the game. You can have Sengun take us to the fourth and let KD take over, because we saw Sengun having to go one-on-one against Draymond Green. It didn't work out for him down when they needed a big bucket, right? Now you got KD. That's a problem. That creates so much of a mismatch, knowing that KD going one-on-one, because one-on-one, especially when they got all that talent, like you said, right? And they got another clutch dude in Van Fleet too. We see how clutch Van Fleet is, so it just makes them better down the stretch.
Yeah, for sure. And I see Paul is saying, yes, they can beat OKC. I see everybody that I've paid attention to on social media, they agree with you. They feel like Houston got a good deal, an excellent deal, actually. And I'm not disagreeing. Like I said, I just have my sort of point of view. But again, I'm thinking about KD's age. I'm wondering too, how big is the window? Some have said KD with this young group can probably play 4 more years with the style of basketball he plays, because he's not going to be asked to do as much as he has in the past. Now, I looked at KD when he was with Brooklyn. They got swept by a young Boston team who was up and coming. And that Brooklyn team, while they had Kyrie and they had a star in Kyrie, a second star, to me, as a collective team and the way they play basketball, it wasn't as good as a group as this Houston team. Kind of to what you're saying. So I'm cool. I'm cool with the fit. I am. And I think it could work. And even if KD, let's just say, misses some time because of health or because of age, still, I think he'll be fine come playoff time. It'll be interesting to see how Minnesota bounces back. It'll be interesting to see, again, how OKC, how they look coming back. These are the top teams in the West right now. You still have Memphis, who's a pretty good team that, if healthy, can compete. We don't know what the offseason is going to look like. The Lakers have a star in Luka. They have LeBron probably coming back for his farewell tour. It's going to be interesting where they land in the West, because the West is still so strong, despite the fact that you have this young group. Now I hope that KD doesn't have that effect of, well, we need to make sure he gets the ball, and they defer and they overthink it, because that happens sometimes to young guys when they're playing alongside older superstars who's accomplished as much as KD has.
Todd said, I think then Spurs missed a major opportunity to become better, to beat
and the Spurs.
OKC. They were on that list. They were on the list. That's a good one. Paul, Houston got a good mixture of young guys and vets. I agree.
I agree with that too. I do. It's a good fit.
Dujane was good. He said, "Look, KD isn't making anyone better or worse. KD has too many moments where he is MIA in games, especially in the playoffs. So the move is meant to me. Who cares? I'll disagree with that one. Like, I don't think he has, like, against Ray mentioned Brooklyn. He had big moments against Brooklyn, against the Bucks. The one toe, he dominated most of that series. Like, he has more wins than failures in series, to be real with you. I'm gonna be real. Like, he has more wins than like in terms of showing his imprint. He has more wins than failures. You know what I mean? Like, even if you go to the championship with Golden State, and granted it's Golden State and they were already stacked, but he pretty much was the reason why the Cavs couldn't. LeBron was getting foiled. Like, they had nothing for KD. They had absolutely nothing for KD. How many game winners did he hit on LeBron in that series? You know what I mean? Like, I think he has more wins than failures, but that's neither here nor there. I think with this situation, to what Ray and I are talking about, he don't have to do but so much with KD. It's almost like Golden State again. It's like, and then these guys are playing a winning mentality of basketball. It's not like Brooklyn where it's like Kyrie's an ISO player. It's your turn, my turn, your turn, my turn. It's not that situation. Go with the Suns. Booker, your turn, my turn, your turn, my turn. Not that situation going into Houston. In Houston, they don't play that ISO type of basketball. The situation that KD, even if you want to go as back as OKC, like, it was more like Russ is more ball dominant, right? Russ is ball dominant. No knock on Russ. I'm not knocking on Russ. I think Russ played his part in OKC. I thought he was great in OKC. But this is the reason why this situation is different from other situations, is because it's almost similar to what he had to do in Golden State, where he doesn't have another ISO. Like, it's Steph can be his ISO, but there's ball movement. Houston, there's no ISO player in Houston. You're gonna say the most ISO player in Houston is probably that's matching up with KD is probably going to be Van Fleet. Probably that's probably the most ISO player. So now he has room to operate. He doesn't have to go your goal, my goal, your goal. We can dump it in Sengun. Let Sengun go to work. You got a big who does the work, which, you know what I'm saying, let the big do it. Let him operate. Let him give, and he's a good passing big who can find you open. What big help your KD open? Oh, Draymond Green, Golden State. So I'm just saying, like, the situation in Houston is favorable to Kevin Durant compared to any other situations we're talking about. If we're going to look at what he's done in the past, if we want to go recency, it's different for Phoenix, and it's definitely different from the Brooklyn Nets.
I see Dujane is kind of coming around to your thought process that he doesn't have to be the superstar.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, win now situations typically don't work out right away.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I go back to the window. So let's
Mm-hmm.
just say I'm going to go on a limb and say they won't win it next year. I don't believe they'll win the championship next year. If that's the case, he'll be 37.
Mm-hmm.
How much more time do you have to take advantage of having a Kevin Durant on your team? Does he have another 3 years in the league? So, but you didn't lose a lot. That's the biggest thing if you're the Houston Rockets. Let's just say they make it to the Western Conference Finals and they compete every single season for the next 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's still a win because you gave up Dillon Brooks and Jalen Green a bunch of second-round picks.
Yeah, I like that.
It's still a win. But the goal of acquiring KD was to win a championship, period. That's why you got him, because you believe with the coach you have and with the young roster you have, you can win a championship now. And I'm just saying, I'm asking a question. If they don't win next year, which I don't believe they will, because most win-now situations don't work out in year one,
Mm-hmm.
I believe that window shortens, and that puts this deal in jeopardy for those who feel like this is a championship contender team. Although, to my other point, maybe you compete every year. As a Wizards fan, I would love to be just in the playoffs. So, hey, some people have different sets of goals, different viewpoints. My thing is, you're getting KD now. You trading away a young up-and-coming star. You expect to win now. And that's interesting because, again, the window may be short considering his age. But the way players are playing now, LeBron, about to come back for another year.
So I want to look at Kevin Durant's average. That's what I want to know. Like, we talking about. It's because all about how you playing. I don't get into age. It's how you playing at this point in time. In last 4 years. In 2023, he averaged 29. About 29. He averaged about like 27. He averaged about 27 last 3 years. 27. 2024 averaged 27. This year's average 26.
Mm-hmm.
Still scoring the same way. Still the same Kevin Durant. You know what I mean? Still the same scorer. You know what I mean? Like, so to answer your question, probably has about a good 3 years. Until we see a decline, that's when we know. When we see a decline in scoring, that's when we know. But to your point, they didn't give up so much, but that even if he has a slight decline, they'll still be able to win games because they're at such a high level in terms of talent. To be real with you, to your point, right? Brian Moore, what's going on? What's going on? I think B. What's going on, B? My guy. What's going on, dude? He said, the question is, can a man step up this year to become at least a star? KD doesn't really want to be the guy anymore.
I think he's a great guy.
Huh?
Yeah. No, I think he's a great guy. You talked about Dillon Brooks being traded.
Yeah, he's a
great guy.
Yeah,
he's fearless. He kind of, both twins kind of give me that Artest.
They are, man. They are, man. I like him in time. I mean, he's gonna have to get a jumper. I do agree with that. He's gonna have to get a better jumper. But to your point, he's a grit dude. Like, I think he'll take it to the next level. I think he got a lot of skill. I think it to be real with you, I think it's gonna be up to and B. I think it's gonna be more up to I think Jabari got to take his game to another level, for real. I think Jabari coming out of Auburn was supposed to be a little bit better. I mean, he's still good, but I think Jabari got to take his game to another level, to be real with you. I like Cam Whitmore. I think Cam Whitmore is a scorer. You got a dude who could score the basketball on the bench who is ready. Like, he's ready. You know what I mean? So, in terms of subtracting a guy who thinks about scoring like Jalen Green, you got a dude on the bench at Cam Whitmore who's not as athletically gifted as Jalen Green, because Jalen Green is super gifted athletically, but has the same scoring mentality, though. You know
top teams in the league. You got Boston once Tatum is back.
Again, he missing the whole year. He missing the whole year with that Achilles, dog.
What I mean, see, now that
that's
changes
a whole year.
The landscape. That changes the landscape of the entire league. But again, I think the Western Conference is still going to be tough.
Yeah,
so
right.
Them getting out of the Western Conference because of this style of play is a possibility. Because you talk about unselfish play, selflessness. That's huge. That's why OKC won it. That's why OKC was one of the best teams in the league this year, because that's their mentality, the culture. So what is KD bringing to the culture? I think here's what I'm gonna say, and this won't be popular, but KD and how he plays the game is unquestioned. But sometimes what he brings to the culture, it doesn't always surface to mainstream media talks. If you look back in Brooklyn, you hear some of the stuff about how groupies being paid for by the organization to go to his house and to do this and to do that. He's demanded trades. He's grumbled behind the scenes. He was close to getting traded at the trade deadline last year in Phoenix, but then he declined to go back to Golden State. That's where they were going to send him. So KD, he wanted to play with Kyrie. He wanted to play with Harden. Then all of a sudden, I don't like this no more. I want to be traded. I'm just saying, I'm hoping that he won't ruin these young dudes, you know what I'm saying? But he is kind of amongst that Harden group. He came in, him and Harden played when they were younger. Harden asked John Wall about that Houston culture when James Harden was there. Now, KD doesn't have a party. He don't have a party reputation.
He ain't like them, dog. You reach on that one.
I'm not reaching.
He ain't like them, dog. He ain't like them.
I'm telling you, he's one of them dudes like LeBron that does not have that reputation among the mainstream media. Yeah. I'm just saying.
Go ahead.
You don't know now. Jalen Green was a wild dude. He was a wild dude. So I guess it won't be a drop off. It might be a wash. But don't underestimate the fact that these stars are always entitled, and KD is no different.
Let me throw this out there. What you're referring to, all NBA players do.
Culture.
All NBA players do.
He smashing team employees, Paul. What you talking about?
Yeah, they coach. Yeah, I know. But let me put this out there. What you referring to? I'm not going to go there. What you referring to? Most NBA players do. What you're referring to? Most NBA players do. Even your GOATs do it. What you're talking about. So, like, that's the small. Like, he's not. At the end of the day, like, he's focused on basketball, just like Kobe was, and Kobe had his stuff. Just like everybody had his stuff. So I don't even want that's something I don't even like to get into, because it's not like it's like a detriment to the team. He's not a detriment to like young players. No one's ever come out and said Kevin Durant it's toxic to the organization. He wants to get out, yes. Like he'll be like, and some of that stuff that you're referring to is coach situations, because there were coaching problems too at the same time, which was what was documented by other players too. So some of the situations, the coaching, and also it's the ownership of how ownership changed. That's all I'm saying. We talking about basketball though. We talking about strictly basketball on the court, player to player. That environment is different. Like Golden State, him leaving Golden State is different from any other situation. Why leave Golden State, right?
Because Draymond cussed him out and told him
exactly.
We won without you. And he was like, all right, I'm gone then.
Yeah, and that's nothing wrong with that, because somebody else caused that. He ain't caused that. That's Draymond being Draymond. You don't got to tolerate that. You don't have to tolerate that. Some people want to tolerate that. If I don't like playing with you, you making this personal. If I want to play with you, I don't want to play with you. It's not me saying I'm being a prima donna. Nah, you cursed me out. You Draymond Green cursing me out. How that work? That's what it is.
Okay, hold on, Wole. To your last point, people have friction on every team. The best teams in history had fights in practice. You know what I'm saying? It happens. But
it's what the best player say,
I want to leave.
It's the best player talking about. Come on, Ray. That's like freaking Horace Grant.
Tell Jordan,
that's like Horace Grant. That's like Horace Grant coming at telling Michael Jordan like you ain't good enough. No,
told him.
No, Jordan went at Horace Grant, and then they had the friction. It ain't the other way around. Jordan started that. Then he came back. He barked back. You got Horace Grant going at the other dude. That don't go. It never goes that way. That's never a thing. So I'm going there. That's like freaking AC Green going at Magic Johnson. No, it doesn't work that way.
I'm not under the belief. I want to be objective that Kevin Durant is flawless. He couldn't bench 130 pounds. He couldn't bench 130 pounds coming to the league. You know, he's a little sensitive in comparison to other guys. He's always clapping back at people on social media, including Boogie Cousins recently. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing wrong with that, and you may agree with it. That's fine. I'm just saying.
We just different. We just different, Ray. Like always, we just different.
No. You said what he's doing is no different from other players. I agree with that. Groupies, we've seen it firsthand. We know what groupies look like. We know the weed smoke is real. We know KD is part of that. We also seen his haircut. We know what he cares about. Basketball is high on his priority list. I'm not disagreeing with anything. I'm just saying let's not overstate where he is and who he's been, and that it's just going to be this perfect match in heaven. Like, oh, Kevin Durant's going to come in. He's going to be just spotting up. Şengün's going to find him. I'm telling you, there's still a level of entitlement with this dude, and it's going to show at some point.
I disagree because he's talking about that. I disagree for this situation. I think in other situations you could be correct. This situation is totally different.
That's cool.
Meta. I know it's okay. I just want to read this comment.
For sure.
Metal Cop. Metal.
My man. Thank you. He came in.
Look how he did. As a sense.
Let's go. Subscribe.
As a Phoenix fan, the Rockets can look forward to missed games and zero leadership. Look, man, I will say, look, you were there, so I can't even knock you, bro. Like that's what you observed. You know what I'm saying? I can only go observe like the Kevin Durant that I'm accustomed to seeing in terms of who loves basketball, and I know who loves basketball. And I'm gonna tell you this though, also, that was the bad mesh with, especially with Chris Paul not being there and. You got so many ISO players and no point guard. It is what it is. Like I'm gonna be real with you. You got Dillon Brooks. You got Booker, Bill, KD. Where's your one at? How's that supposed to work? How? So I just feel like that was already destined for failure. I said that even when it happened. To be real with you, when you lost the point guard, that's what happened.
Thank you. Ask Russ. Talk to Russ about who KD is, man. I'm telling you. It's not this clear cut and dry like, oh, he's a great fit.
Like I only go off. Let me tell you how I do this. I don't do this stuff like you do it. Like all I do is all basketball. That's personally how I do it. Okay. I look at the best match, how it works together. I don't go with personality, whatever, because personalities at the end of the day, you're gonna clash regardless. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew that like when Golden, and not even because I knew Golden State. And KD was an unfair thing just because the way he played basketball and how they play. It's ball movement, and he ain't worried about going ISO. He don't need to go ISO in any system. He can get his shot off. That's how I knew it. I knew in Phoenix once it was just him, Bill, and Booker, it wasn't gonna work. I knew him in Brooklyn for real. When they brought in James Harden, wasn't gonna work.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got nothing but scorers and no Kyrie is a point guard in sight and height, but he ain't a point guard. He's a scorer. That's what he is. Kyrie's a scorer. He a go getter. You know what I'm saying? You need somebody like a LeBron to counter a Kyrie because LeBron is a passing dude. He's a pass first type dude. So it works. So him here can work here because again, there isn't a guy who you can say, "Hey, go get me a bucket." You know what I'm saying? The only person to say, "Go get me a bucket off the bounce." For real, it's Kevin Durant.
I think you're right in the sense of when it comes to just pure basketball. And by the way,
I agree.
James Harden is an excellent scorer, but I mean, an excellent passer. I just think that defensively they suck because the
But he
three
still
of them
takes a lot
together
of,
don't play defense.
but he's not.
But
But it's
he's
go
a
ahead.
high volume guy. I'm
Yeah.
not going to dispute any of that. When it comes to basketball, I totally agree. I think it's bigger than that. But because I mean, a lot of things do factor in how you mesh with teammates. I mean, that's why Jimmy Butler didn't work in Minnesota. He's
Yeah.
a different personality from KD. Agreed. I'm just pointing out all the different variables that could come into play as to how this may or may not work. That's all I'm doing.
I got you.
We having a discussion. You feel me?
We
But
are.
I
Facts.
appreciate though the folks who are talking about his leadership skills because this will be an opportunity for him to show that he can lead a group of young talented guys to a championship. Because the knock on him is he joined a super team. He didn't win in OKC. He didn't win in Brooklyn. He didn't win in Phoenix. People will argue that Kevin Durant is not necessarily a winner. He didn't win in Texas. People are going to argue that he's not a winner as the alpha dog, that he had to join a group. I'm not saying that's true. I'm just saying if he wants to overcome that stigma and overcome what people are saying about his leadership skills, I think this is the perfect opportunity for him.
You gotta listen to them, man. He like his work
He
done it.
does, though. He always clapping back.
Well, no, I'm talking for me. I'm not talking to him. I feel like he shouldn't have to listen to him because if you're a hooper, you see what it is. Like you see what
He's that
like
dude.
you just watch like the Warriors don't beat the Cavs if Kevin Durant's on that squad. Watch it.
Yeah,
Watch that
sure.
series. Watch
For
that
sure.
series for real.
For sure.
Draymond called him because he said it. He said it. We called him because we need you. We can't beat this dude because we need you.
For sure.
That's documented. So let's folks know, for the folks that said that he had to join the super team, they called him. Like we always make that joke. They called me. They called him. It wasn't the other way around. They called him.
But see, again, it's still two sides to that because Giannis has gotten calls. Other superstars get calls. You don't have to do. You can choose.
I'm just saying.
I hear what you mean. I hear what you mean. I'm sorry. They needed him. I would agree. I would agree to that. It's a lot of hypotheticals involved with that, but this is a good opportunity for Kevin Durant. We can all agree on that, and we all can agree that Houston has a talented squad, 100%, and he's getting out of a situation in Phoenix that is a mess with that new owner. I agree.
My man B said KD is not looking to be a leader though. Totally agree. He just want to hoop. That's the Wole
point. Yeah,
he just want to hoop. That's been a given. But no team will ever not want one of the best scorers to be on their team. Agree. I agree. I totally agree with that point.
I think that's totally valid.
That's my point. Like he's not. But he said that. Like that's not. It's crazy that everybody. Like I know people want to throw that out there. Not you, Ray. Like so I'm talking about people in general.
I'm good.
Like the only thing he's always said it though. He's been very consistent. I want to hoop. That's it. Like I ain't into. He said this. I ain't into all the other stuff. I want to hoop. That's all he's always ever said. Like I'm not into the GOAT talk. I'm better than this player, this, that, and the other. I just want to
hoop. Like I said, it's some stuff underneath the surface, but
I heard stuff underneath the surface.
For the most part,
Kevin
Durant is extremely focused on basketball to the point that he doesn't even have kids because basketball is that important. He don't have time to settle down. He don't have. And I mean, you talk about somebody who's dated WNBA players. Yeah. He's an overall. I don't know. I don't know him personally. Let me not say what I was about to say. But in terms of basketball, I can't say I've seen guys like him on a regular basis in the NBA. A lot of guys, turn into what that Wizards Gilbert Arenas team look like. Guys that they're focused on the limelight. They're focused on the after the game. The life after. They're focused on we're the young millionaires. We're gonna go out here. Look at Anthony Edwards. As much as I love him, his off the court activities it echoes or it reminisces or I'm sorry, what's the word I'm looking for? It is indicative of what a young man. If I was 22 in the league, yes, that might be what I look like. I'm texting chicks. I'm taking videos. I'm like, here, take this money and shut up. It's not right, but I'm just saying this is the culture of what a celebrity NBA player goes through. KD's not that. I will say that much, but he also sometimes he gets a unfair shake in what we're talking about. Like he joined a super team. Like you talking about, look at all the accolades. Look at the scoring ability. Look at who he was at Texas. Like from the time he stepped on the court at Texas, people knew that he was going to be a star. And he evolved. His game evolved. He got even better as his career went on and grew. So I'm a KD guy. I'm just saying that there's a lot of different factors coming into play in terms of them winning a championship. And I know I said that a number of times. And how big is that window going to look? That's all part of the discussion. But I know for him, from a mindset right now, it's like, thank you, I'm out of Phoenix. From what you just said, I love the hoop. I want to hoop.
Dude,
He's that type of dude.
they said they got like fights in their locker. Was rumors they was having fights in their locker
Well,
room.
that's what Boogie said. Boogie was like, I told one of your teammates. He was like, I ain't dropping no names. He was like, but I'm not gonna lie. I was asked a question, I answered it. And KD is one of the people that I will give him credit. He loves to keep things in house. And I'll say this as a sort of point or to add to what you were saying. Remember, we had Monty Williams on the show. I'm gonna keep putting it out there.
Yeah.
Go back in the archives, check it out, fam. It was audio, but it's still.
He loves Monty Williams.
He
loves
said,
him.
they're both from here, both from PG County, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And what did Monty Williams tell us? He said when he coached Kevin Durant on Team USA, Kevin Durant was focused on being the best player on that team. He was like, "Who's the hardest working player here?" And Monty was like, "Man, you, Kev." Like he said, it was that important to him.
Yeah.
And this is playing with guys like Paul George, LeBron, like guys who stars in the league at the time and still stars in this league. So yeah, I'm saying KD. I understand who he is, and I'm hoping that would translate to the Rockets becoming a contending team. But leadership skills, it matters, but everybody leads differently. Jason Tatum has said that many times. Jason Tatum is not a guy that yells. He's not a guy that's going to rip a teammate. He's not going to talk about you in the media. He's going to lead by example. He's going to be accountable when he makes mistakes, and I think that's KD.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on like who you want to be your leader. Like Golden State, Draymond Green's supposedly their leader. He's not their best player. So that's like you don't have to be the best player to be the leader. You know
Not
what
at
I
all.
mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, now in terms of basketball, you can really be like you rely on Steph for Golden State. You rely on Steph more than Draymond. Like that's a fact. But in terms of like they've said it, their leader is Draymond, right? There's situations where your best player isn't your leader. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes when you go out there and work hard for a lot of folks thought like Derek Fisher was more of a leader than Kobe for the team. But it's because of how he related to everybody else. Some people thought that way. Didn't say it was right, but it's because. But again, sometimes it's just about how you go about your business. You could be by example. You go out there, you work hard, and you go out there and score consistently, or you work hard in your craft, and it shows every time you step on the basketball court. You lead by example. So it just depends on how you view leadership. You know what I'm saying? Like some people like the rah-rah guy. That's what they deem leadership. You know what I'm saying?
Leadership styles and personality, they mesh.
Yeah.
For example, if Udonis Haslem gets in your face, you're going to listen to him because you respect him as a veteran. He's not saying, I'm the best player on the team. I'm not better than you. I know you're talented. I'm trying to get through to you. This is what he was doing in Miami with the young guys.
Yeah.
Versus Draymond. Draymond does carry himself like he's the best player at times, and that's what annoys people. You know what I'm saying? That's why KD was annoyed by him, to be honest with you. Like, dude, you're not a ball handler. You live off of basically what other people do. You thrive off the supporting cast around you of guys who are much more talented than most. So stop talking to me or talking down to me as if you're my equal. You're not, bro. Like, chill out. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to if, let's just say somebody else who who KD respects. That's why he didn't like Kendrick Perkins. He said, you was a bum. Like, you talking like you could compare to me.
That's
for real. He still don't like Kendrick Perkins to this day.
I'm not even arguing this.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. So the personality and the leadership do mesh. And if we're really looking at the situation of who KD is, it should not be a problem in Houston. It shouldn't be. But these young dudes need leadership, and what I think Paul was saying is basically the coach is that guy for them.
I think that's what I'm saying. He is though. Like you could tell, he is though. Like he was there. He was like that. And real talk, he was like that for like other than Al Horford. Because you look at Boston, their leader is Al Horford. Like that's their leader.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
He said
but when he was there,
that's crazy.
What did he say? He said, "Wait, yeah, they better listen to Hass. No, boy, put the hands on your head. But even like when he was at Boston before the scandal went down, like he was like their coach was the leader. Like he was a leader. So it depends. Like it depends on how you it just depends, man. Leadership to me, like go ball. I'd rather that you be able to ball and get you being consistent, being on the court. You know what I'm saying? Like than anything. Like what Tyrese Halliburton was doing, like I can't tell you he a leader in the locker room, but I think on the court he's a leader.
My last question. After you're done, I'm gonna ask one more question.
Go out. I am done, bro.
Okay, no. So as a competitor, right?
Yeah.
Okay, like your leadership style as a basketball player, you're better off. You yell at somebody. You're very direct. Pass the ball. Stop shooting.
No, I'm better. Right. I'm better though. I'm better than that.
No. But that's overall the Wole I used to play with. That's how you was. And if you yelled at me, I'm like, F it. I'm gonna keep hooping. You know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't let it get to me. I'm gonna keep playing.
Yeah, exactly.
Some people crumble under that. And to me, no, I'm serious. Kevin Durant does not handle that direct type of criticism well. He just doesn't. And that won't be a issue, hopefully, because he's playing with a lot of younger dudes.
Right.
But I'm just saying, like,
that's a little different though. I'll be real with you. Like, let's keep it a buck. Like, let's keep it a buck though. When you at like not me, because I'm not that level. But when you Kevin Durant level, folks ain't shitting me telling you stop shooting the ball. I'm gonna be real with you. Like that's like somebody telling, and I'm putting all the all-time greats out there. Somebody telling Bird not to stop shooting the ball. Somebody telling Jordan stop shooting the ball. Somebody telling Kobe stop shooting the ball. You're not telling.
I'm gonna give you an example. When he was on Team USA, Coach K was the coach. Coach K would often tell him, sometimes for whatever reason, you like to lean as you're shooting. He said, "You're 6'10", bro. You can pull up and you can go into your normal shooting motion."
That's fair. It's Coach K talking to you.
It's nothing wrong, I think, with constructive feedback.
You on Coach K. That's fair.
In the right. Now, when you're Draymond, you put it the way you do, but still, it's still. I'm not. If I know I'm KD, like I said, you used to yell at me. I know I'm gonna still do my thing. I'm still gonna hoop. You know, versus the dude that used to drive the van, be like. You know what I'm saying? Like, it hurt his feelings. And that's KD. KD, he mentally sometimes is not there in the game.
I'm with you.
And at his caliber, he should be. Like you said, I'm KD. I can shoot the daggone ball, but it still hurts. If I played with Draymond, we would have battles, but I know he was coming to win, and I would still keep doing me.
I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Like, nah, because when we went Ray, we look at certain people's side. I ain't gonna lie. Back in the day, when we look at certain people's side-eyed. Like when they would complain about certain stuff, and we'd be like, "Nah, dude." When we used to ball at the other place, we used to ball that together.
That's why
we used to do that, bro. We both used to. If somebody was trying to so-called lead and talk sideways, then we'd be like,
"With some sensitive guys that were good." That's great. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know a whole lot of sensitive dudes that have won titles. You know, Kevin Durant played with Golden State, but. Todd, I'm gonna ask you this: if you had to choose to play with a sensitive dude or a dude that you know gonna come to hoop, you're gonna play with a dude that you know is going. I don't care how talented he is. Like, bumping. I'd rather play with my horses than you know what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, that's a tough one. Like, how good is the sensitive dude though?
Well, as a coach, Wole, it's a different perspective. You probably would take the more talented, even if he's annoying, he's a brat. You like, I'm gonna work with this dude. Yeah. Although coach is like, you know what?
Now it depends how we like he ain't like who you talking about though. That's different though. Them dudes are like I know you talking about like the little sensitive dudes that you gotta like pick up whatever. Like you gotta do so much to motivate them. Like again, Kevin Durant's I know what you're talking about. Like I feel like Kevin Durant's more like social media sensitive.
No. He's like motivated. No, he is. We've seen it. Like people like I mean the Draymond is the best example, but he's pretty much crumbled. Even when Russ came at him as an opponent, all he was saying was, "You're gonna lose. You're gonna lose."
But that doesn't do anything. But on the court, so I'm saying, like, no, I bet that's different. Like on the court, don't show that. Like the basketball itself, he's still dropping 25, 30, and not like doing dumb stuff. Like I don't get like for me when we're talking about if you're talking about outside of basketball and how like why are you letting these people bother you? That's different. I'm talking about on the court, he ain't crumbling. Like. He's still giving you the business.
Last thing I'm gonna say, we can talk about Bradley
Beal. Yeah.
Let Anthony Edwards go at MJ or Magic or Bird back in the day, like I'm here. I guarantee they don't laugh at him like KD did. They gonna come back at his neck and they gonna eliminate him.
But that don't.
It's a different mentality.
I think I disagree. Like again, you're going against a bad team. Like that, the team is a team. Stop doing that. Like I hate people put one player against the whole team. Like that. You talking about the Phoenix Suns and the Minnesota Timberwolves? Like what? No, we're not doing that. That team played bad. I told you how they constructed is a bad team. How constructed? I told you this. Like you're talking about nobody basketball. Ray, we know this. Everybody needs a role. You can't have 3 guards or 3 outside players and no point guard. What does that do? That's not basketball.
I watched Bron make the finals with Matthew Dellavedova, Kyrie.
You're right.
I watched AI make a championship team with Eric Snow and Aaron
What's
McKee.
Bron? Different era basketball too, but what's Bron though? What is Bron? What is Bron?
You tell me.
Bron is a point guard, as a point forward. That's Bron's role. I said they have no point guard, nobody who's going to. You got nothing but 3 dudes who are ready to trying to get shots. They're not playing a role. And even if you want to use the Sixers as an example, everybody, AI, you're right, was the scorer, but everybody played a role around AI.
True.
No one, if you're in Phoenix, everybody's not playing a role. No one's playing a role. Everybody trying to be the scorer. Like, nah, we're not doing that. Like, nah, this is basketball. It's still basketball at its finest. We're not going to try and make something up. What do you say, Ty said?
Kenilworth Park. Hey.
Hey, you're a wild boy.
Just ride past Kenilworth, man, on the train.
I
don't think I've ever played it. Have I ever played it, Kenilworth? I played around. I played in Kitland. I played in a lot of neighborhoods.
I played Kitland. I never played Kenilworth. I don't think I've ever played Kenilworth.
Yeah. But I mean, listen, we could go back and forth in terms of mentality. What I can't argue is that Phoenix team definitely had its deficiencies, and as a team, they didn't function like a well-oiled machine. Like, I mean, even though LeBron kind of carried them Cavs teams at times, even though they didn't.
But
have
everybody
the
plays around
situation.
him though.
Yeah,
but they play around him.
He's a different type of player than KD. Totally agree, man.
Yeah,
totally agree. We'll see how it works. It's gonna be.
But we'll see how we'll definitely see how it works. But yeah, let's go to like so somebody. My man Alexander posed this question earlier. I gotta search it out. But he said, "What about Bradley Beal?"
Yeah.
So what does this mean for Bradley Beal? Like, there's a report that they're trying to trade him. But you got the no trade clause.
Tommy Shepard, man.
He said, here you go. What happens to Bill?
Tommy Shepard.
Go ahead, Ray. What happens to Bill, bro? What happens to Bill?
Man, it's difficult because Bill will have, like KD did, a list of destinations. The difference is KD has fielded interest from many more teams than what Bradley Beal will. Bradley Beal, of course, Miami will probably be on that list. Maybe Philly. These are 2 teams that have always had interest in Bradley Beal. I know at one point Denver was exploring adding
the Lakers
Bradley
used
Beal.
to like him. The Lakers used to like him.
But what Bradley Beal more important than no trade clause is he's going to have to shed. He's going to have to agree to some sort of restructuring of his contract because nobody wants to take on that money for him.
You're not lying.
And he knows he's in the driver's seat because of the no trade clause. And if he wants to have his money, he's going to probably end up in a John Wall situation in Houston where they said, just stay away. Or you can sit on the bench, but you ain't playing. We'll pay you. You ain't playing, though. And that's going to be really sad because Bradley Beal, similar to what you're saying about KD, loves to play basketball.
Yeah. Bradley Beal does like to play
basketball. Hey, tell Bill that everyone eats.
Yeah. You know what? I mean, I kind of like, I don't want to go around on my victory parade or whatever. Because it's dirty. But I just remember folks really thought that this dude was better than John Wall. You know what I mean?
I never did.
I know either. And I used to sit there, I was like, y'all really think he better than John Wall? And I just felt and it was always John Wall's team. I know folks would try to share. Bradley Beal was very important to that team. I'm not going to diminish his talents at all, ever. He definitely put in work in those playoff series with the Wizards and John Wall. But let it be known, they were winning games because of John Wall, though. Let it be known, that. I talked about having a point guard who could set everything up and why it's important to have a point guard to set the tone. Talk about for the Suns and whatnot. That's what John Wall did for Washington, and Bradley Beal got to live off of that. And it sucks for him that every situation he's been in, he's kind of been exposed, right? So and to a point where people are now seeing all right. He may not be that guy, but I still think he's a good basketball player. He's a good basketball player too, who can help you win big games in the postseason. He has to find the right situation. He's got to be in a situation where he has a point guard that can help find him in the corner. You know what I'm saying? He's a guy what I do like about Bradley Beal over the years that he came in the league, he really couldn't dribble as well, but he improved on that. So he is a hard worker, like you said, Ray. He loves basketball. So I would love to see Bradley Beal getting an opportunity somewhere where he doesn't have to be. You don't have to depend on him to be the guy or the second guy, maybe the fourth guy, to be real with you. You know what I'm saying? He could be the third guy in a certain situation, but a guy that hits a corner three who can average about 18 to 20 a night. Not a guy that you're looking to average 30 points what he was doing in Washington. Because we said we've seen this, Ray. It's easy. And I say it's easy because it's hard. You're in the NBA and it's never easy. But when you're on a bad team and you're the guy taking the shots, I mean, if you're talented enough, you get to 30.
Yeah,
you can average
the Wizards teams were average with him. I remember the year he was competing with
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
for the
scoring title.
And Kim Bazemore made that comment. Guys popping hamstring trying to keep up with my man. And Brad and his wife kirked out about the whole thing. They crashed out because, they felt like you shouldn't be making light of somebody being injured. Anyway, that season, Brad was exciting to watch. The Wizards were really, really good in terms of when you compare them to the yesteryears that we grew up watching.
Yeah.
At the same time, I think the overwhelming sentiment amongst the league and amongst Wizards fans was Bradley Beal is being treated like a superstar. Like if Halliburton ain't a superstar, then Bradley Beal definitely ain't a superstar. And the thing is, he was being treated like one by the organization. He was being treated like one by the organization. I personally love loyalty. I really do. Even sometimes where it's to a fault, I still like that you're loyal to your guys. I'm glad as young men that they got their money and that they were able to earn, life-changing dollars for their families. That's dope for him and Wall. But the thing is, and I am a little bit biased because I'm a John Wall dude. When Bradley Beal was often injured early in his career, John Wall, again, would do his thing, 20 and 10 dude.
Hold it down.
And Brad appreciated who John was. It's just if John doesn't make some of the decisions he made off the court, coupled with the injuries, gang signs, all that stuff, then we might have saw a different story. And it's sad. The Paul Pierce year was the year I really just I wish that John Wall didn't get hurt because they would beat Atlanta and they was going to go on and compete against Bron and the Cavaliers, man. So I appreciate Brad. Again, we're some guys that talk sports. We can't say that he's a bum, he's this. When we're just talking objectively about superstar status and how the Wizards, sort of put him on that pedestal, it wasn't the right move. They paid him and gave him a no trade clause, which doesn't happen ever in the NBA. It was an unfortunate mistake. He's now the beneficiary of it, but the organization he's playing for is hurting because of it. It sucks. It's a bad situation. And for him, I would just restructure. You got plenty of money and go somewhere where you could try to win because he does want to win.
Yeah, Paul like facts, bro. Yeah, it's nothing personal with Bradley Beal. Like it's all like basketball. So it's just all about basketball. Where he's at right now in his career, he's at a place now where if I was him, I know he got the no trade clause. If I was him, I'll opt out and let them trade me. You know what I'm saying? I would. And I feel like because you kind of like you have this negative stigma on him. He has this negative stigma on him. Like, all right, like nobody really wants a Bradley Beal. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, you get traded. Somebody wants you. Like him, I think him going to actually, truth be told, I got a good team for him. I ain't gonna hold you. They just traded away Bane. I think him in Memphis would be a decent fit. You don't got to worry about being a dude. That's Ja's team. You know what I'm saying? That's Ja's team. Like you're a shooter. You know what I mean? You can put the ball on the floor. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't got the range as Bane does. Bane has more range, had more range than him, but he can score. Like he can put the ball on the floor. You still got Jackson, so you'll be the third best player, and now you have a point guard who can get you the ball. Like you don't have to create. You know what I'm saying? You say hell no.
He won't do it because as much as he loves basketball, he has a family, and there's no way he's going to take his family to Tennessee. It's just not going to happen. Again, he's going to control the narrative. He's going to get back on the East Coast.
No, I'm saying if I was him, I'm just saying if I was him,
he would go to South Beach. That's where he wants to go.
Yeah, I know. Like if I was him, I'll go wherever. Like I gotta rebuild my image. You know what I'm saying? South Beach would be good for him too, but like again, you don't got a point guard to get you the ball like that though. Like who'd be the point guard to get you the ball? That's gonna be Tyler Hero. That's Tyler Hero's day. He's the scorer. He needs to go to a situation where there's a point guard, just like he had in Washington. That's someone who can feed him the basketball, and he don't gotta overwork. That's what he needs to get to a situation. Like Russ, he needs to find like even like when he had Russ, did the same thing. When he has a point guard, Cade is still.
Hey, Who's the
That's a good
Celtics
one,
point?
but
Who's the Celtics point guard starter?
damn, they got a point
It's
guard. Drew
what's it?
Holiday.
It's Drew Holiday.
Yeah, you know what they
I was
point
going to say
guard.
because he could go back and rekindle his flame with Tatum.
But he ain't
as a
having Tatum next year because
no, he won't. That's what I'm saying. He
yeah,
could go somewhat fill a void on the bench for Boston,
yeah.
and he know the area. He knows Tatum. I mean, that could work.
Yeah, I mean, but I feel if I'm him, I'm going to a situation that has a one. They gotta have a because that's where I was successful. I can't I was successful when I had a one. Every time I had a one, I did well.
Oh, he said the Spurs. Maybe, man.
Who's the Spurs? Oh yeah, Darren. I mean,
what about ATL? Would that work?
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. I would go to a situation where I know I'm going to a guy, even if he got paired up with he never played with James Harden, right?
Not to my knowledge.
Yeah,
He could go to late. Yeah, I mean, one of
that's
LA
a good
teams.
one too.
Yeah, he could go to one of LA teams.
Yeah,
and his wife is from Cali, so that would work.
Anywhere that somebody can he doesn't have to do the work, and somebody can force get him touches. Because we've seen it though. I'm not even being mean. Not Jalen Brunson don't pass the ball enough, son. Nah, he's a scorer. Jalen Brunson's a scorer. He ain't getting that 10. He ain't getting the rock there, buddy. Nah, Jalen Brunson get buckets. That's not he gets buckets. Because we've seen it though.
Maybe Orlando could use his shooting.
But who's the point guard? Who's getting the ball?
Jalen. What's his name
He's
from
a scorer,
Gonzaga?
though. Yeah, he a scorer though. He ain't finding you.
Jalen Suggs.
I like Suggs.
To me, Suggs a good passer, man.
But he's not. Is he a 10-point? He's a 10 assist type dude.
Nah, more like 7 maybe.
He need the John Wall Russ type dude. That's the type of dude he need. That's the type of dude. Like Trey. Like when you say Atlanta, that's perfect because Trae Young would be perfect for him. Trae Young would be amazing for him. I didn't even think about Trae Young. I think that would be perfect for him. Like Trae would be ideal for him.
Yeah,
I wouldn't even say De'Aaron Fox. I wouldn't even say, and I like De'Aaron Fox. But De'Aaron Fox is more of a scorer too. I had to think about that. He's more of a scorer.
Some people might argue that Trae is, but
but Trae still give you 10 plus. He give you 10, 15. He'll give you 10 assists a game. He's always up there in assists.
Yeah, well, Brad's got some decisions to make. He definitely does.
He ain't no Pacers because the Pacers ain't then lost their point guard. He don't got him next year. They don't got Tyrese.
Yeah, they got TJ McConnell. He gonna be starting, huh?
Nah,
he reminds me of Eric Snow so much. I swear.
He's way better than Eric Snow. Don't even insult him. He's way better. That man is a problem. He scores. That man's a problem. Eric don't score. Eric can't. Nuh-uh. It's because of jumper, right? It look kind of like
no. They're both just extremely fundamentally sound. I mean, he makes the right plays. Eric Snow is like that too. He's just a better scorer than Eric Snow. That's all. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But yeah, I can't say I'm rooting for Bradley Beal. It's not that serious. He was a nice dude to interview.
I can't say I'm rooting for him.
You saying that's an insult? Well, Eric Snow? Eric Snow was that bad. Eric Snow was not that bad. He's not like
Eric Snow wasn't bad. He wasn't bad.
Rondo couldn't shoot per se, but Rondo was better than both of them, if you ask me.
Better who?
TJ McConnell and Eric Snow.
Rondo is way better. That's not even close.
Oh, I'm just saying. But is it insult? Why? Because Snow one of the best shooters. Snow was.
I think it was. Man, Snow was solid. I'm not saying it. I'm just talking about. I think what's his name was just a better scorer. I'm not saying Snow was a better defender. On the flip side, he's a better defender than TJ. And TJ is a good defender, but Snow was a better defender. Snow's jumper was just too erratic. He was.
To me, TJ is somebody who outworks the heck out of a talented person. He outworks you. He outworks you.
Easily.
That's the key to his game. It ain't about how talented he is.
Well, his mid.
He works harder than more.
But it does. Guys. I will say this too, though, and before we get ready to knock the show out. But what I like about TJ McConnell is that before, he had no jumper. None whatsoever when he came into the league. That giant. Now his jumper he do have that his midi. It's almost automatic. If he once he gets to a spot, it's automatic. He knows his range. So I'm gonna give him his flowers in terms of his work. To your point, yeah, he outworks you on the court, but in practice, you could tell he works hard in practice. So I'm gonna give him his flowers because
hard worker.
Yeah, because some of them shots he was hitting, going in terms of over bigs and finding angles to finish around the basket. The pull-ups at the free throw line, even when he got into the paint, he would get to the paint on his defender, on some good defenders, on Dort or whoever, and still able to score buckets. I'm gonna give him his flowers. That dude, he do outwork you. I agree with you, Ray, but also he definitely honed in on his craft while to stay in the league, where other dudes, you know, they kind of fizzle out. Because if you asked me when he got into the league, he would be able to stay in the league, I'd have been like, hell no. Like his game, hell no. And he worked hella hard on his game to get to where he's at. So when I watched him this finals, I'm like, dude, you made some money. You made big money. Like Indiana to a point where I don't know what your contract situation is, but you made big money. Because like what you were doing, like you were a problem in the finals. You weren't like a good role player. You were just a problem. Like he was a serious problem
throughout the playoffs.
Throughout the playoffs.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Yeah, I don't know the insult though. Yeah, Erickson. I don't think it was an insult though. Hey, but here you go. Before you, who y'all? Okay, it's cool. I think I might do a draft.
It's getting close. It's getting close.
No, I think I may tomorrow. I was trying to figure out. Like, I want to do a Ravens show tomorrow, but Karita couldn't come on. Because she's gonna be at the Mystics game. So I was thinking about doing the NBA draft show tomorrow around 7. We'll see.
Yeah, Taj, why don't you just come on for it, bro? You might as well, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I would. So who do I think the Wizards? I think they're gonna get a Queen. Actually,
that's what I said. That's what I said from Jump Street.
I think they're gonna get Queen.
I said that from Jump Street.
You said
that's what I want. I want Derek Queen for sure.
Yeah, I think Queen. I think they're gonna get Queen.
Get on, Taj. Come on, Wole tomorrow, bro.
I was gonna get Troy. I gotta see how I'm gonna do.
Troy. Yeah. He said if you invite, he would be honored. Wole.
Oh, you know what, Taj? Forget it. Yeah, you come on. I fool with you, Taj.
I will pull up. I can't be tomorrow. Are you doing the Diamond Johnson trip tomorrow? Matter of fact, I got to text him about that.
Yeah. Oh, I'm game. He just got to hit me back though. He got to hit me back.
Yeah. Let me let him know.
He hit me. He didn't tell me what actual day. Yeah.
He said tomorrow, didn't he?
He didn't. He said I'll get back to you, but he said she got to get back to what time? He said 8 or 9. He said 8 or 9. So I don't know. So I'm gonna need a Hey, Taj, I got you. We can shoot the breeze about it. I should get back from work. No, actually, I'm not. I have to. Yeah, actually, I'm not. I'll probably work from home. I'm working from home tomorrow. I gotta do some stuff. Yeah, let's do this. Hey, Taj, let's do it, bro. It's gonna be dope. We had Paul on before to do the Commander stuff. Now I got Taj for the Wizard stuff. So we're gonna talk with some Wizards then, Taj. I don't know. Yeah, it's between everybody says Ace Bailey may slip. I don't believe in that. I don't believe that Ace Bailey gonna slip though. I don't believe it. I don't know. You think Ace Bailey gonna slip?
Not that far.
You think he'll slip though, for real?
Well, it's based on his preference. I mean, he's canceling workouts and things for a reason. He's trying to.
Oh, he's trying to manipulate.
He's trying to manipulate.
He's slipping. Yeah. He's gonna slip now. He gonna slip far. Yeah, that's gonna be.
I don't understand why he didn't want to go to Philly though. But anyway, that's another discussion.
I understand. I get it. Unfortunately, I get it though. I get it. Oh, Ellison, what's going on, Ellison? He said,
"What's up, bro?"
Bailey got a promise with someone. Yeah, definitely got a promise with someone. I don't know. I don't think he would want to come to Washington though, but I don't know if it's the best fit. But we'll see.
Derek Queen would be great. That's what
I think. Derek Queen is. I think Derek Queen is the best fit.
Ooh, man, him and Star, give it like 2 years. The Wizards gonna be so good.
Queen, because Queen plays he plays a good brand of basketball, like a winning brand of basketball.
It's coming.
Like Jokic, like Jokic's brand of basketball. Not saying he'll be as good as Jokic. But
they're gonna be good. I'm gonna give him a couple years. Wiz gonna be good, man.
Yeah, he Paul want to get Trey Johnson from Texas.
Yeah, I like his game. There's nothing wrong with that. I think whoever you get, you're not gonna. This talent in this draft is so good that I don't think you can go wrong. But you want to try to get the best fit. That's the most important.
I know the best fit. Yeah. I like Queen if the Wizards trade up with that 18th pick. Yeah. I hope Queen.
We're going to find out. Save your thoughts for tomorrow, Taj. I'm pulling up, bro.
All right, y'all. Before we close this show out, make sure you subscribe to the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and other podcast platforms. Just search the Urban Sports Team. Also follow us on X at Urban Sports Team, IG and TikTok at Urban Sports Team, and also like our Urban Sports Team Facebook page. Also, if you're on our YouTube channel right now for the first time, hit that red subscribe button. Also like this video. Check out our website, which is theurbansportsteam.com. Again, we appreciate y'all for pulling up with us, man. Y'all made this chat job dope, man. Made this show kind of dope with the chat being jumping as usual. Anyway, you've been listening to the Urban Sports Scene for ages. You dig? Deuces. We are out.